Hello everybody, welcome to week 3 of the class, and I'm here on the assignments page. This is one step beyond the wicked problem as you see it assignment that you did last week. So those 2 paragraphs you wrote, and partly some of that will spin into this one. So let me explain, just stay with me here. Same problem you mentioned on a wicked problem as you see it. This time you'll need some sources, some expert sources on that problem. And I want 3 flavors of sources. An article from a database the Mesa College Library has, and just hold that thought, I'll show you. At least one must come from a website, so you could use one other website or one other article, your choice. Just must add up to 3 sources. And one must be from the database at least. And be sure to read through all of these instructions here, but I'll walk you through them and you'll see that you do a search of the library database here. And I'm going to show you a little bit. If you could scroll left, we'll move your mouse left. And there's the Mesa College Library. So click that link. And here we are. And if you scroll down the page, you'll see something called Need Help. You can email them, but it's actually quicker to do an online chat if you do get stuck. Let's go to the actual library website. Okay, here's what I want to show you. The databases. A to Z databases list right there. And you have specialized ones you can use. I wouldn't. I would do something general because obviously you don't want a book. You don't have time to read a book. You're looking for articles. That's what I mentioned on the assignment. You need an article. Now, there's 113 of these. Seriously, you don't want to look at all of them. But what I would suggest, at least a good way to start, is one of these that shows on full text scholarly articles. That means they've been well researched by professionals, and then other people have read them to make sure that they're legitimate. So I would go with one of those. Looking for articles. Remember, article database right there. There's your key phrase. This might be handy since it's very general and covers a lot of areas. Okay, so I would start with those 2, and if you're spending more than 20 minutes without finding a single thing you want, stop. I don't want you working yourself to death over just part of the assignment. So move your mouse over here if you're stuck to Ask a Librarian. Right there, see that link? And if you click on it, a librarian will come online and you can type in what you're looking for. Obviously, you're looking for an article on that wicked problem that you wrote about last week. And the librarian will help you get there. That's their job. They're patient, they're friendly, and they're knowledgeable. So use that link if you get stuck. I would just try one of these 2 first to see how well you do. And of course, when you open the database, one of these 2, There are a bunch of others. The librarian may direct you to another one if you get stuck. But let's say you pick this one for a quick search. You would just type in the name of your wicked problem here. Simple? I hope so. So let's go back to the assignment. There we are. And there it is again, the overview. So fast forward, let's say 45 minutes tops. You found an article that really does discuss the wicked problem you've picked. If you found more than one, great. You can use two, as long as one of your other sources is a website. So you could have two articles on a website or two websites on an article. That's totally fine. Although I don't want you to use Wikipedia as your only web source. But I get to that later in this assignment. So I give you some tips on doing effective Google searches. Use it as a guide, because I don't want you to get stuck doing this either and spend 45, 50 minutes doing this. An hour tops. So let's say you found at least one website, one article. You probably spent about 2 hours so far. And then you can recycle your first paragraph from your wicked problem as you see it assignment, and then just add a little bit to it, your purpose of examining 3 sources on it. And so that's your first paragraph, right? Then you have a few more paragraphs to go. The next 3 paragraphs would each be on one of your sources. Each source would get its own paragraph. And you're going to use the art of summarizing, and they say, I say, to guide you. And right there, focus your summary on what the source says about it. If they propose a solution, fine. Don't spend much time on that. We're way too early in understanding the problem before spinning off solutions. But look at how they analyze the problem and how they frame it. As I mentioned here, you've got that reading coming up this week. And, of course, a discussion and reading questions. And you can quote just one sentence, though, per each paragraph. Now, that'll give you 4 paragraphs once each source has gotten its own paragraph. You with me so far? Your last one, your 5th paragraph, will just compare each source to at least one of the others you discuss. Then you're done, almost. Go a couple of spaces down, type the full bibliographic citation of each of your sources. And you'll see on the modules page a link you can click called the Purdue OWL that will give you an automatic generator to come up with your MLA full bibliographic citation for each source. Then you're done. A couple of things to avoid here. Read this carefully. And then I want you to submit the assignment in Microsoft Word. If you don't own Word, use Google Docs, and it has a way to save something in Microsoft Word. And then you'll upload it here. Okay? Now, Since I don't accept late assignments, but I will accept one if it's no longer than 4 days late, not a week, 4 days. You can do that, but you might want to save that opportunity for something bigger. If you have any questions about this assignment, be sure to hop over to the discussions page and ask me in the class chat room. I'm always happy to answer your questions. So have a great week and have a little enjoyment with this, examining a problem that you're interested in.